According to the British Deer Society, most, if not all, free-roaming British and Irish Sika deer are descended from a single stag and 3 hinds, introduced into an Irish estate in the 1860s. History lesson over. 160 years later, and thanks to rotten fencing, Roy is in Hampshire hunting one of their great-great-greats.
If we bump into him, that is a phenomenal stag, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful stag. I mean, that is a corking Sika.
On this balmy evening in October, he is being guided by Ryan and Mike from Jelen Deer Services.
The environment is just perfect for them. You've got a mixture of sort of deciduous woodland, pine woods. You've got valleys, boggy areas where the Sika like to live. And we've left them alone pretty well for the last 4 or 5 years, and we're starting to see some world-class sort of Sika stags come out now. So this is where hopefully Roy's going to end up with one of those tonight.
Sika is a deer we haven't featured often. They can be a bit tricky, but Roy has the tools for the job. He's spent weeks fine-tuning his calling and antler drumming to get those boys coming to us.
Unfortunately, my Sika calling is not quite up to par of my fallow calling. I've been upsetting everybody at home for the last couple of evenings re-practicing because I've not called Sika for a little while, so I was asked to rough out of the kitchen and go into the fields and play, so you'll have to bear with me on the first couple of calls. I might need to clear my throat.
You know, Roy's going to try sort of whistling them and rattling them, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's a technique that we've never used before, but they are whistling like hell at the moment, and you know, hopefully it'll be quite exciting. The downside is that this last 24 hours the temperature has built up again, and although they're quite active 2 or 3 days ago in the frost, it remains to be seen what they do today. But I'm pretty hopeful. Ryan's pretty good at finding with his young eyes.
What are you saying, Mike? Come on.
I'm saying I've only got one eye and I'm getting old. So he's your best bet of getting a good Sika tonight anyway.
Jelen is an official Blaser-sponsored outfitter, so Roy is using the estate rifle, the R8 professional success with the thumbhole stock.
These are the ones we were using earlier,
Yeah, 165 GMX. The others are identical, they've just got a different seat in depth.
We have 2 outings booked. This evening Ryan is taking us, and if we blank, Mike's on duty in the morning. And this is the boy we're looking for. Ryan took it on his phone earlier in the year. He has been very vocal, but as with most rutting action over the last few years, the weather is messing with their minds. We do everything by the book, but it's quiet, very quiet. All that we can do is grab a B&B and come back in the morning.
Right, they're going to be full first light this morning, and unfortunately it's still a little bit warm. But
They're still around. Yeah, we just do fine.
It's cooler, but not busier. Roy unleashes the orchestra, but to no avail. We walk miles.
this is Sika Central down here. You wouldn't think so.
A week later and we're back. Roy, dog with a bone, Lupton is not going to let this opportunity pass. He's even spent the last few days changing his tune.
We had a very, very, very long walk a few days ago, and we covered every inch of this forest and didn't see a Sika stag. Didn't hear a Sika stag. But Ryan has assured me that there is a Sika stag in here.
This is crunch time. Will it be third time lucky? All we need is a single Sika scream to get us focused. When it comes, it's close. But light is about to fail fast. Another few calls from the same spot means we need to step into the old boy's boudoir.
Oh, well done, mate.
Oh,
How's that?
oh my god.
Oh man, that was absolutely on the money. We had.
He's huge.
Is he? I couldn't look.
He's big.
Oh man,
I was there sort of crouched like.
that was absolutely amazing. We've been stalking this stag for 3 days, and he was calling down there, and it's right on last light. And I've been practicing with the Sika call. We had a little rattle, nothing came, and then we came here, and it was literally one of those moments where you've got to go for it or go home, because we came right into his territory and just gave him some squeals. Nothing for the first couple of squeaks, and then we got a response, gave it another one, and he just came charging in like an absolute bull. But where the light is low, he was searching for us and we couldn't quite see him. He came through the opening here. He was probably only about 50 yards away from us, and he was just searching around for somebody to fight with. I was just going to push Ryan out in front of him if he did come for us, but yeah, and we just shot there, and hopefully he's down there. So, oh, Jesus, well done.
Congratulations.
Nice one.
Let's go and have a look.
Wow. What an absolute old corker he is. Oh man, what a beautiful, beautiful stag. God, he is absolutely stunning. A real old warrior as well, isn't he? Gee whiz.
This is the exact stag we were after. He can't even whistle properly anymore, bless him. He's a real old warrior, and we've been seeing him quite a bit now. And he's going back now as well, and he's still right up there.
Yeah, I mean he's certainly got some rubs and some nicks and stuff on him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's certainly been in the battles. But massive, great big, thick set neck there, and he's a big bodied stag as well. Yeah, you often get really good responses from some of the younger animals, but that's definitely the best response I've had from an old beastie like that. If we hadn't taken that risk, we would have been going home on the M3 again tonight, empty-handed, and I don't think David would have forgiven me. He did say he was going to take away my postman status, and that is definitely going to be one of my stalking highlights and one of my stalking memories that stays with me, and all the time I've still got my faculties.
And this young man here has been watching you on the show. 9.
I know, that really makes me feel old. And you as well, mate. No, since yeah, that's it. Since we started Fieldsports 10 years ago now.
How's it been for you, Ryan?
Oh, a roller coaster.
Because the first time you ever watched Fieldsports was one of our first episodes, wasn't it?
Yeah, the row rut.
Okay.
So.
That's it, when we were out with John Tobin calling that morning.
Yeah.
The response we had from this old boy was very similar to the response we had from one of those bucks. But yeah, as I say, for a Sika to respond like that, I was really pleased with that. No. They're just too bloody sharp.
Back at the yard, Roy is still buzzing about the reaction to the call.
I'm just over the moon to get a response like that from a mature stag like that.
Roy, the postman, normally delivers, but this time the postman had to ring thrice to get his deer. For more information about Jelen Premier, go to premierwildlife.co.uk. And for more information about the Blaser R8 rifle range, go to blasersporting.com.